locations.
My name is Phil Chibe and I am from Alaska. I am retired locomotive engineer.
My name is Leanne Jack and I grew up in Appleton, Wisconsin. So I'm a web designer and a front-end developer.
My name is Phil Chibe and I am from Alaska. I am retired locomotive engineer.
My name is Leanne Jack.
For the last 33 years. And in between that, still cutting down trees, climbing trees, and all that other stuff in between.
My name is Terrell Lee. I'm from Mobile, Alabama. I work at a small used car lot just to get out of the house.
I discovered this whole community of traders in the trade room, which, you know, I was sitting in front of my computer at home all by myself, and now all of a sudden here is this community out there, which I found very generous. Everybody was so supportive and welcoming. It just really blew me away.
What makes us so different than other schools is that we're just not your typical school that's just going to teach you how to trade. We're going to go out there and be part of a family, be part of a team. We're looking for traders that we could trade together.
My name is Josh Levitin. I'm from Bethpage, New York, and I'm the senior instructor here at Cyber Trading University. What makes our on-site class so great, aside from the networking aspect of it all, just having our students meet each other for the first time, is the fact that myself and Fausto are very hands-on with our students in the sense of just being able to literally overlook their shoulder and watch their trade, what they're focused on from their platform.
Some news came out and the thing just popped.
While I can comment on what they should focus on online, they might not be able to understand that as well compared to having us right there in front of them.
I kind of like the idea of not being in front of a computer 8 hours a day, because I can't do that. So I kind of like the idea of doing it in the morning and then going to do all the other stuff I need to do.
Everyone that you thought was going to do that, you're going to have 9 losses versus 1 winner. Yeah, it's like, it's not worth it.
When I spoke to Fausto on the phone and he interviewed me, the thing he said the hardest thing for me to do would be to unlearn the things that I previously learned. And it turns out that's 100% true. And the stuff that I'm learning from him and from Josh and everybody has really made all the difference in the world in understanding what a day trader is and how it actually works.
Fausto and the staff at CTU University, they're really on top of everything. They give you good trade choices and they keep you alert onto whatever's happening in the market at the time for the day.
Right, so we made a profit. What did I just say earlier? Just take the money and run, because guess what? If you didn't take it, how would you be doing right now? Now you're losing money. You're just trying to make that day's pay. That's all you're looking to do. You got it, you made it. Listen, for every stock, if that kept on going, for everyone that you thought was going to do that, you're going to have 9 losses versus 1 winner.
I don't think you're going to find a better support team in the stock trading business anywhere. That's why I'm here at the platinum level.
You know, a lot of people want to go out there and trade and don't know if it's for them or not. And guess what? That's okay, because it's not. And the thing you have to look at is you have to find a mentor, you have to find a school, you have to sample a couple of things with a couple of schools out there, do a couple of classes, and you make the choice. But don't make the biggest mistake that people make. Go out there and be part of 90%, maybe even higher, of the failure rate in today's industry, because people want to try it before they learn. I mean, would you ever want someone to work on your loved ones that never went to med school? Or how about just giving your finance money to some financial planner that never learned finance? We are no different, but you are on the right path. The right path is you should be doing it on your own. And by doing it on your own, you need a mentor to show you how to do it. And that's what you're going to get here at Cyber Trading University.
All right, cyber traders and fellow traders, my name is Fausto. Let me get a little chat back. If you can hear me loud and clear, please. Just want to do a quick audio check. Just want to be able to see if everybody could hear. Okay, just go in the chat room. All right, good. All right, perfect. All right, welcome cyber traders and fellow traders. My name is Fausto once again, and I am here to talk about what is going on with all these Reddit stocks and how to trade today's volatile stocks, all that good stuff. But, before I do that, let me get my video cam, because I always feel it's a little personal when you guys could see the face and put the eyes to it and everything else. So hopefully everybody can see that pretty clear. So what we're going to be talking about, ladies and gentlemen, today is about more or less of how to find the next biggest earnings session, which you have to start learning now to get ready for the next earnings session, but also, not to get caught up in these big losers and these big bad trades that are going on, making sure you got in and got out the right prices. But what we're going to focus on also is teach you how to trade today's volatile markets. Now, what I'm going to be doing, everybody, with the ultimate goal of today is I'm going to invite every single one of you in my professional trading room today. Now, I know some of you have been in other ones, like, oh, here we go again, another trading room. What's going on? Listen, I've been doing this for 25 years. We started the first one. You're going to go to the original one. A lot of them, the ones that are out there are some of my students, and they graduated, and hopefully maybe one of you could be that. But you got to start somewhere. Listen, it's never too late to be a lawyer. Okay, it's never late to be a new doctor. We can never not have enough doctors. We have enough lawyers. We can have enough politicians. Well, maybe not enough politicians, but the business is not going out of business. So you have to learn before you can earn. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself. We're going to get into and talk about what's moving in the market. There's been a lot of good stocks out there. I'm going to talk about level 4. Let me kind of bring it up there and show you what I'm talking about. We're going to talk about all these big orders. We're going to talk about what happened with leads today. Here's a stock that, literally went up from, 11 to 20. That's right. We're going to talk about AMC, today, why AMC had the big rally, and then all of a sudden the stock tanked, went all the way down to 36, unfortunately. We're going to talk about a stock called 10, why the stock 10 right here had a very big pop, and all of a sudden the thing just basically took off. I got an error message. I came here. We'll talk about this stock that just literally has been on a really nice tear, the stock 10, which all these good things, and we'll talk about how they work and why they go up the way they do. So the big thing is, everyone, just be patient. I know you have a lot of questions. We'll talk a little about it, but what you're about to learn, you're going to realize you should have made your first trade. You're actually realizing that you're making trading a lot harder than you should be making it. Actually, 70 to 80% of people fail because 95% of what they're doing is the complete opposite what they should be doing. How do I know this? Because I live here in New York, okay? I was trained by the best traders in the world. This is the financial capital of the world, okay? I'm actually going to be 50 this year. I'm going to hit a milestone at September 18th. But I started when I was 22 years old. And I was, listen, being a 22-year-old, I was very ignorant, okay? And when it comes to trading, I basically, blew up about 2 accounts, 3 accounts, something like I don't even want to talk about it. But my father was a lot smarter than me, obviously. He says, son, listen, you like trading, okay? You're in the greatest country in the world. I was a first-generation Italian. My parents came here with $20 in their pocket. They said, listen, this is the country, of opportunity. Why don't you go out there and get a job and learn for somebody? And you know what? Back then, even today, people are lazy. They're ignorant little kids, right? Aren't they? I mean, no disrespect to all of them, but listen, let's be honest. Nobody likes to go to work, especially now with COVID and getting used to everything that's going on. Everybody's like starting to think, hey, maybe I'll do something different. Well, I took the train to the city. I went on my first job interview. Did a tour of the floor, and I'm telling you what I saw, what people are using. I'm like, now I know why people lost money. Now I know, like, first of all, how could you even have a possibility of a chance to succeed in trading without even knowing what everybody else is doing? So it's kind of like being ignorant, So to make a long story short, if you ever read any of the old books, I'm one of the original SOS bandits. SOS bandits stand for Small Order Execution System. If you get my book, you could get it on Amazon. It was published by Wiley, one of the biggest publishing companies in the world for traders. And, nice fast read. And I kind of talk a little about it. SOS Bandit, Harvey Halkin, another great book. But I was one of the original day traders that started. There was about 1,000 of us. Now there's over, I don't know, 25 million around the world. Hundreds of thousands of people day trading every day. So I could say I'm like one of the great grandfathers of the industry, and I'm still doing it today. I'm still in the business, which tells you I'm doing something right. But what my ultimate goal is this: how I became very successful is I surrounded myself with successful traders. Okay, so when you're going out there, and what you're going to notice is different. And I know this is probably not your first webinar. Maybe it is. Maybe you listen to other people. But what you're about to see is that this is not the Fausto show, okay? I'm not here to pound my chest and tell I'm the greatest and have that nice little YouTube video, you know, saying like, hey, I made 25,000. That's like an ego thing. And we all know that, you know, even if the person did make it, some of us would just want to make a day's pay. You know what I mean? Talking about these kids driving these fancy cars at 23 years old, driving the Lear jets. I mean, we're looking for a different league of people. If you like the Wolf of Wall Street, you know, type of a movie with the hurrah, with the girls and the guys, and you know, that's not us. We're a prestigious school that's going to teach you how to trade, but I'm looking to train people I could trade with. That's how I become very good. Okay, I'm going to teach you to help me and my staff. As long as you love trading, we're going to do very well. That is how you do it the right way. So this is what we're going to learn. We're going to talk about how do we, find the next new earnings trade that's going to make us a good move. We're going to also talk about Nasdaq total view, which I'm going to play a video at the end of today's presentation. You can see that. I'm going to talk about tape reading. I'm a tape reader. That's really what I am. I'm also going to talk about, you know, controlling your risk. You know, a lot of people lose their money, you know, and always want to learn how to make money. It's not about that. You have to learn how to stop losing it first. Losing is a good thing, actually, believe it or not. If you know why you lost it, you're not going to do it again. That's just how it works. You know what I mean? That's the mistake people make. So I have a question, and we're going to have some fun here. I'm going to do a couple of poll questions. And one of my poll questions is this. Could everyone just let me know, what kind of trader are you? Are you stock trader, options, futures, Forex? Let's just get to know what everyone is in this over here, and we'll go from there. Let me kind of break the ice. And if you don't know what you want, what you are, just say what you think you want to be, okay? By the way, don't be embarrassed to answer the question here. There's nothing to be shy. Josh, you like options? Just put it in a trading room, in a poll. You like options. All right, so I'm going to end the poll because I can't sit here and wait all day because we only got an hour. I'm going to share the results. So it looks like a lot of you guys are stock traders. Now, I'm a stock trader. I'll tell you why. It's black and white. You know, it's not complicated. You know, if you want to do swing trading's great, but then you got to learn indicators. It's a lot more riskier because you're holding positions overnight. Options, 10 times harder. Great story. You know, the leverage, all that good and sexy stuff about it. But you know what? There's so many ways of trading options, a lot more riskier. You could be good at any of those, but you got to learn how to day trade first. Okay, if you've been following me on YouTube, if you're new here, or my Twitter, you'll notice like people like now all of a sudden all over the TV, oh, they're talking about AMC. We were trading AMC last week when it was at $13. Now you're probably saying, how did you know it was going to make a run? I don't know. I just follow the money. I see orders coming in. I saw imbalances in options, whatever. We're going to teach you this stuff. And by the way, that's just one stock. There was so many of them out there. There was KOSS. There was BlackBerry. There was Bed Bath & Beyond. There was so many of them out there. I'm not here to tout myself, whatever it is. You're going to see this black and white yourself. But regarding everyone else, I see we got some futures, some Forex. Listen, I don't want to pop anyone's bubble. Okay, I know some of you here spend a lot of money probably even learning how to do this, or maybe you've been doing it for a while and you try to make it work. Let me just be very honest with you, okay? Listen to me carefully. If you've been doing trading a specific market for minimum 30, maximum 60 days, and you're not seeing progress, you're not seeing making money, you probably need to find a new instructor, or you better quit what you're doing in that market because you're not going to get it. It does not take that long to do it, okay? So I just want to clear the air here because I know a lot of you here says you're going to teach me futures and Forex. Listen, unless you're doing well right now, you're probably better off changing, okay? So I just want to be honest with you with that. Now, how I got started, like I said, doing here, learning how to trade, but the big thing that helped me a lot, doing what I'm doing and why I like day trading and why I like trading in general is because you're your own boss. You can come and go whenever you please. You see what's happening here with COVID. Now everybody's have to start going to work. I know a lot of people don't want to go to work. A lot of you probably says, you know what, maybe I'll retire now, or maybe, Social Security is not paying enough. Maybe you don't want to live on your IRA. You want to build on it. Well, the thing is, I love trading. I love my family. It's my wife, Debbie, and my 3 wonderful sons, Alex, Max, and Lucas. And I got a second family, and you could see it. I mean, we trade together, we think together, and that's what I'm looking for, okay? So let's talk about the next earnings report. So anyway, let's talk about LI. LI was a really nice move. This is what day trading is at its best. Let me get my little pointer so you guys can follow along. Hold on a second. A little animation here. There we go. There's my little red dot. Okay. So here you're looking at a stock right here. You're looking at LI. You can see how the stock goes from like $9, at 9 a.m., 9:30, goes from 20 up to 23. And then it kind of stops after 11, kind of dies out. You see, but this is a really big move. Now, another stock that came out, great earnings. Stock goes from $9, shoots up to $9.50, up until 1 o'clock. Things already at 11. Okay. Let's do the math. To buy 1,000 shares of that stock, it's $9,000. Some of us think, well, you know what? Now you're thinking like, well, I could have probably traded an option, whatever. Forget about that right now. Let's look at this black and white. Stock moves 50 cents. 50 little stinking cents. Forget about the $2, $3. 50 cents a day on 1,000 shares is $500. That's a $100,000 salary. Who here doesn't want that job? Where do you make that? Oh, I know where you make it, trading the market. That's why a lot of people want to trade the market. So I just want to point out that trading the next earnings announcement, it's just not earnings, okay? It's upgrades and downgrades. It's the Wall Street bet stocks, okay? It's COVID, okay? It's the financial crisis. Every stock trades exactly the same, but you don't have to make a lot to make a very successful career in trading. You just have to have a game plan, like the stock plan. Stock goes from 56 down to 47, okay? So it's basically just knowing why the stock went down. And then all of a sudden, why did it start going up? Because you saw the stock go from 58 all the way down to 46. You're like, because think about this for a second. Did any of you ever do a trade and all of a sudden start freaking out and then you sell it, and as soon as you sell it, the thing goes up and you think someone's watching you? You know what the problem is? It's not that they're watching you. The problem is you are not watching them. And you know why you're not watching them? Because no one really taught you how to play the game. So let's go out there and look at a couple of things and give you that sense of what's happening. Because remember, earnings announcements going to come up. Companies go out every 3 months, and you damn well better be prepared for the next earnings, because now that you saw what's happening with COVID, we're getting out of this COVID. Less people are getting COVID. More people are getting vaccinated. Certain parts of the states of this country are eliminating, because we have a work shortage, but we have a big inflation problem. Okay. People always ask me, I don't want to get off a tangent, but people they keep asking me, you think this is the bottom? You think the market's going to crash? The market's going to crash. I says, you know what I think? I don't think the market's really going to go anywhere unless some big catastrophe happens, but we're going to have crazy inflation. So what ends up happening, these companies, you think they're going to want to keep their prices the same? They're just going to say, I'm not going to hurt my earnings. I'm just going to raise the prices. You don't like it, don't buy it. Okay? Let me tell you something. As much as you might not like these companies, which I know a lot of us don't, okay? You got to understand something. These people, like professional athletes, they make a lot of money, okay? No different than, Barry Bonds, Peyton Manning, any professional athlete, because they're great at what they do. All right. So you just got to know how to be on their team to make the day's pay. You don't try to beat them. You join them. You join them. So let's talk about some of the stocks and how we find them. The first place that we look, now how do we know which one to trade? Well, I don't have a crystal ball. Okay, I don't go out there and I'm not a stock jockey. First, it's illegal. You can't do that unless you're registered. What I do is this: I go out there and I just work off the big percentage gainers and losers. Okay, so I'm going to start here. I'm going to tell you where we're going to go. I'm going to lead to how we know these stocks are going to make big moves. I like to basically just work off the big percentage gainers and losers and just trade right off that. Now, there's a lot of stocks out here that are moving. Okay. I'm going to bring up my platform here and show you what I'm talking about. Hold on one second. Here we go. So, right here is the big percentage gainers. Here's the Nasdaq. Here's the gainer, the loser, the most active. The gainers and losers on New York Stock Exchange. So there's a lot of stocks that are moving. Like here's a stock that we just traded. Here, I'm just going to show you something really quick here. We got, here's our students right here. This is the room I'm going to invite you all into. So you can see right here, David is calling out CAN. It's the high of the day. You can see how the stock is making a big move. Randy just called out EFIO, just got halted. These are people that I'm trading with. These are my students I've trained. So let's just bring those stocks up really quick so you guys can see what's going on. So they're looking at business stock EFIO. I mean, look at this stock right here. At 11:30, the stock was at $5. It ran all the way to 8. 8. Did you need $3? Did you need to make $3 under? It sounds nice, right? But if you even just bought at 5 and sold it at 5.60, made yourself, 60 cents on 1,000 shares, that's not bad. It's a nice little $500 a day. Here's other stock that David was calling out, the CAN trade. That stock was that was that ETF stock we called out. Look at this stock. You want to talk about a Reddit stock? Well, how about this one? This went from $4 all the way up to 40, and then you could have shorted it. It ran all the way back down to 8. Now the stock is on a big uptrend again. You could see it right now that they're trading it. Look, it went from 10. It's already at 1070. So there's a lot of stocks out there that are moving, okay? Now the question is, how do we find them? It's right here in the big percentage. EFIO is right here, biggest percentage gainer, okay? Here's an IPO that just opened up. GTT, that was another one that we traded this morning, up 37%. Now it's up 37, but we traded this first thing in the morning. It ran from 3 all the way to 450. Nice little move. 10, this stock's been doing great. Look at this stock, great swing trade. You could just do this from a day trade. Ran from $10. Look, it's already up in a little bit more than a month. It's already at 20. All right. Look at the intraday chart on this stock. You could have day traded it this morning. It ran from like 1780. Look, it already ran to $20. So the point I'm getting to is, where do you find these stocks? Well, we find them right here. This is where we find them. Right in the big percentage gainers and losers. Okay. And you can see it right there. No matter what brokerage firm you have TradeStation, Thinkorswim, Fidelity, Schwab, they all have it. So the big thing is, how do we know which one? Now, this is where we're going to get to the point of knowing which one out there is going to give us the least amount of risk with the high amount of reward, because that is the $64,000 question. So we know how to find them. We know where they are. There's no big secret. I'm not going to say, hey, you know what? I'm the guru. I'm the genie of it. Listen, there's no secret on it, okay? But the thing is this. You have to know how to follow the money, okay? You have to know how to follow the money. So stop being, the typical Joe. You got to know who Goldman Sachs is. You got to know how to follow the high frequency trades. You have to know how to follow the algorithms. You need to even know maybe a little bit of the dark pools, not that much. It's more of the algos and the high frequencies and guys like this on the left that are having these program trades that are running these stocks. So where do we get that? Very easy. So I'm gonna ask everybody a question here. Now, if you don't know what this is, you probably say no, but does anyone here have level 3? Was anyone here have level 3? Yes. Ahmad, earnings, okay, is just one of ways of looking at it, of companies coming out earnings, but how do you know which stock is going to move due to earnings? You understand? So going out there and saying, what do you want to learn about book value? What do you want to learn about, you know, the PE ratio of the stock? Is that going to really make you money? Because do you think you're smarter than Goldman Sachs? Because if you think you are, you should be working there, okay? My goal is today is, you know, it's a very attractive topic, but the question is, when earnings announcements come up, how do you know which one to trade? Why is it going up? That is the goal that I'm trying to teach you. But you don't have to wait for earnings announcements season until, you know, you could trade right now with the same type of strategy. So we'll get our polls out there. Now, it looks like a lot of you guys are not answering it, so I will take that as a no, okay? A little bit more more than half you didn't answer it. So it looks like a lot of you don't know. There's about 26% of you do. Okay, so for everybody here, listen, this is where things are going to get interesting. What you're about to see is going to be so disturbing. First of all, you're going to get ticked off of the person that trained you if you did get training before. And secondly, be like, how could anybody even think of trading without having this tool? Okay, so let me show you what we got here. First of all, at the end of this presentation, just give guys a little heads up. I've been a regular guest at Nasdaq. I'm just going to bring this up really quick on the, let me just bring you up to our website. We're going to play this video before you go as you register, just giving you just a quick heads up. So on our website, right here on the bottom, we're going to play this video right here. I've done several videos of presentations at Nasdaq. Nasdaq wants you to know how to use their platform. They're you know, and I don't want to go through the history about it and tell you what happened with this big $1 billion lawsuit that I was involved in with market makers and stuff. You could find that out later. But Nasdaq knows that the number one reason why people fail is they don't use what they're supposed to be using. So let me show you what we're talking about. Right here is where we're going to see all the orders. Every buyer, every seller, every algorithm, everything that drives the stock go up. You have to understand something. You have a seat on the exchange, okay? You could see all your orders. You could see who's buying it. You could see who's selling it. Think about that for a sec. Just think, let that sink in your head right now. Let's think about that. You could see every order out there. What the hell? Where was I? What the hell? What are you looking at? Some Fibonacci? Some mathematician that invented something that's talking about what's predicated happened in the past? Or do you want to be focused on something on the future? So let me show you what we got going on here. I'm going to draw a couple of lines. Now, this might look confusing, might look like a lot of numbers, but it's not as bad as it goes. Still not showing charts. We're not showing a chart. We're showing a PowerPoint, by the way, Deborah. You should be able to see the PowerPoint. Right. So we're looking at, right. Does everybody see it okay? Everybody should be able to see that. Everybody see it? Okay. So, all right. So right here, we got our buyers. And on the right are the sellers. B stands for buyers. S stands for sellers. Okay? Now, you have three columns. Okay? Column 1, column 2, and column 3. I did it backwards because there's a reason for it. Column 1 is the bid price, which is the buyers. The second column is telling you how many shares that are looking to be bought at that price. And the third column is telling you how many orders make up those shares. It could be 10 orders, it could be 5 orders, it could be 1 order. And depending who wants to buy the stock will be up here and pay the most for it. If you wanted to buy it for less, you're down here at the bottom. So here you are negotiating where you're buying it and where you're selling it. Okay? Now, let me change the slide, and things will get a little bit bigger. So, does everyone see the stock PLTR? Everybody see PLTR right now? Okay. So we're looking at this slide right here, and I want to show you how we utilize this data. here's an intraday chart, and PLTR went from like basically, right here, dropped at, start at 9:30, and all of a sudden earnings announcements came out. The stock ended up being gapped down, and not only that, but when people came in the morning, they still wanted to get out of it. So it went from 25.60, kept dropping, dropping. And then all of a sudden, some coincidental reason, it kind of stopped right here at 24.50. Why 24.50? Why didn't it go back to 23? Why didn't it go where the MACD said it was going to bounce at 22 or maybe 25, which we thought it was going to do, but ended up going down? Why 24.50? Well, let's think about this for a second. Exactly, Rav. What makes a support level and a resistance level? Can anybody answer that question? What makes a support level? Let's start with that. Can everyone answer that? If you can't answer that question, you should probably quit trading right now. What makes a support level? Buyers. Very good. Congratulations, you just passed kindergarten. All right. Buyers. Now, let me tell you why people fail kindergarten trading. Could you see buyers on a chart? I mean, how do we really know that that was a support level on a chart? You don't. The only way you could do that is you have to look and see the orders out there in the future, which someone never probably even told you about. And the reason why they didn't tell you that, I'll tell you exactly why they didn't tell you that. Because they weren't a market maker like I was. They never really traded. There's a lot, you got to be careful. And listen, I'm not in the business to bash people, okay? But there are a lot of people out there that know, unfortunately, education is a big business, okay? And I get people ask me all the time, if you're such a great trader, why do you teach? And I'll answer that question when we get to the end. I can't answer for them, but I can tell you what they're doing. And for some reason, they found this. They're very good speakers. They're good presenters. Hell, one of them was an actor, okay, and just wanted to get into the industry. So the way you know when you're dealing with a reputable school is, first of all, make sure they're endorsed by brokerage firms. Make sure that they're, they got a AAA rating at the Better Business Bureau, and, read the Google reviews. That's the way you're probably going to know, okay? And attending events like this, listening to students in the past. So just give you a heads up. So anyway, the stock goes from here. Now, why did it bounce from there? Okay, so when you look over here, it must have been buyers. Now, right here on the buy side, you'll notice that there is 21 orders. There is a 58,000 shares looking to be bought at 21 at that price. Okay, now you got to, look down this list. What do you got? You got 200 share buyers, 100 share buyers, 400 share buyers. For crying out loud, there's 58,000 share buyers out there. What more you need to see? You're telling me that you're going to trust an RSI indicator versus a 58,000 share buyer out there when everyone out there from $24.50 down to $24, no one's looking to buy other than that one guy. Well, actually, it's not one. It's 21 different people out there. Okay, so listen, spoofing is illegal, okay? Spoofing is illegal, and we'll get to that, okay? That's not spoofing, and if you think that's spoofing, this is what we're going to do, Ahmad. You're going to get in my trading room. I'm going to find a 56,000 share order out there, which roughly about, what is it, about I don't know, over $100,000 worth of, more than that actually. It's about almost $1 million worth of stock. We'll use your account and you post the order and you'll see if he's spoofing or not, okay? I don't think you want to do that. That's a real order. And if anybody, and I'm warning you, if anyone ever told you that, you better run far, far away from them because they have no clue what they're talking about. This is what I do, because funny story, I want to get off on a tangent, but I do a lot of panels, and I was on a stage with an analyst. First, I couldn't even understand what the hell the guy was even talking about. Obviously, he's, just like a totally different world than me. But doesn't mean that he knows how to trade. And he said the same exact thing that you did. And I says, really? That's spoofing? You know what? I got an order right now. Why don't you use your account and execute it? And I put up my $1,000 in your pocket for your $50 or even $10, and you tell me how real it is. You know? And the funny part is he didn't want to do it, but I'm like, what? You're going to make $1,000. You said it's fake. You said it's a spoof. Let's go out there. Well, go execute. You're going to make $1,000. Why don't you don't want to do that? Oh, you see, when you call people out on it, they don't do that. So anyway, next time someone ever tells you that, says, you know what? Can we use your account now and tell me, let's see if that's really a spoof. And believe me how quickly their attitude changes. All right, anyway, let me move on here because I'm kind of like getting so excited that we need to get to the next one. Here's the next slide. Stock goes from, here's MARO. When this is stocks that we've been trading for a while. They kind of died now, all the crypto stocks. These are all the blockchain stocks. But here's a stock that went from right at the gate 23 all the way to 25. Nice move right in the middle of the day. But you notice how it stopped right at 25. Why? Because when you look down here at the bottom, obviously a resistance is sellers. And when we go out there and we teach our traders to find where resistance levels, you know, there's a lot of orders out there, but I think it's pretty obvious to see that there's a lot of shares that are going to be sold right at 25. 127,000 shares of it too, let me remind you. You think I'm really going to judge a 100-share seller is going to make a resistance or a 400-share seller? You damn well, you know, I'm going to take that guy seriously. And if you didn't, and you thought you knew more than them, guess what? Now the stock's at 23, and you just took a $1.50 loss. If you had 1,000 shares of that, that's a $1,500 loss in less than 2 hours. Could you afford that? I don't think so. And how you could have been prepared and not fall into that trap if you knew that guy was out there selling it. It's almost like common sense. You know what I mean? By the way, is that complicated? Did I lose anybody, by the way? Did anyone get lost? Everybody following along? Still here? All right, Chris. All right, good. So how many of you here want to see this live in the market? How many of you here want to be able to, see if this really does work? Well, you damn well better not go anywhere because every one of you are going to see it live because you're going to get into that trading room and you're going to see what happens. Now, let's have a little fun here. Because listen, I don't want to waste your time. I want to make sure you guys are getting this. So I want to go through a couple of more things here really quick. We have hold on one second. So we got this one right here. There we go. Hold on. We're going to do another poll. Okay. So stop sharing this poll, and we'll do one more poll. Okay. So tell me, is this stock going up or going down? Let's hear you guys answer this question. Up or down? All right, just waiting for everybody to answer this question. By the way, if you really can't answer this question, you really should quit trading. And if you're going to tell me, well, it's not enough data, listen, what more do you need? Okay? Do I have to put a straight line to it? So, listen, I'm going to end the poll right now. I'm going to share the results. First of all, I don't even know why two people told me it's going up. I have no idea what made you think it was going up. Okay? The answer is it's going down. I mean, there's no other way of explaining it, okay? So if you got that right, congratulations. You just passed to go to the next level, all right? Now, for the ones that said it was going down, you probably can answer this question pretty easily. What do we need for the stock to go up? What is going to make this stock go up? Buyers. Very good. Thanks, Carlos. Thanks, Joe, Ray, Philip, Joan, Mike, MJ, all of you guys. Perfect. Okay. Listen, I'm not trying to make things like sound pretty, babyish or kindergarten, but it really is. It really is. Okay. Now, where do we find out where the buyers are? We're going to hop over here. We're going to look at something called level 3. We're going to look at Nasdaq Book Viewer. So I'm looking on the buy side. I'm like, wow, interesting. 73 orders out there. There's about 219,000 shares at 1260. What do you think is going to happen when we get down to 1260? Could anyone have just a wild guess? What do you think is going to happen? Norm says it's going to bounce. Ray said it's going to go up. It's probably going to bounce. Do you think? Do you think, really? Guess what? You're absolutely right. The stock did it. It went right down there, hit the 1260. And I don't know how many times it took before people had to realize it, but it went from 1260 back up to 1360. You know what? You made a nice little buck, 1,000 shares, $1,000, $250,000 a year. I don't care when people start showing up. Hey, I made $1 million. Listen, I just want to live. Okay? I just want to live. I just want to just, have fun, make my money, and that's it. I don't need to kill it. Okay? It's just about following the orders. This is what I've been, when you see that video, when I bring this over to you and I show you the Nasdaq bit video, Mandora, the stock that famous cure drug for COVID, that everyone's taking the vaccine. I'll show you the stock was at $27. We're going to see so many people bidding and buying and buying. It's there every day. All right, let's have a little fun. Where do you think resistance levels is in FEYE? Now, what is FEYE? I don't care, and I really don't mind. I'm just here to make money, okay? So, but if I had to trade the stock, earnings came out on the stock, okay, and I want to book a profit, where would I be focused on taking a profit? Angelo, absolutely, you can apply this towards your weekly swing trades because you'll see those orders out there, okay? But as you become understand what happens over the course of the day, it's going to trickle in into a swing trade. Duh is right, Jim? Yeah. So if you said 1650, congratulations. Now, my question to you is this. Did you need an indicator to tell you that? Did you need a chart to tell you that? Okay. Did you need someone on CNBC to tell you that or on Fox Business to tell you that? Did you need an analyst to tell you that? Did you need someone on Reddit? No, you see the orders out there. All right. But what does the chart tell you? Is this stock going up or down? See, now, you see how everyone's focused on the past, and I just showed you the future. You see? Would you like to be more focused on the future, or were people looking in the past? Because the past is not always indicative of the future, as much as people think it would be. And you know what? If you were like everybody else in the future and the past, and thought it was going up and weren't taught the Cyber Trading University way, the Wall Street way, that winner could probably be a loser, or it could be a nice little, not as much as you would have made if you took it when you're supposed to get out, because it went right to that 1650 and it just dropped down another 50 cents. Now, you might not think 50 cents is not a lot, but you know what? 1,000 shares, $50, 50 cents, $500, do that every day. You throw away an extra $100,000 out of your pocket. That's what traders do. That's what traders do. And by the way, like you said, one of you said earlier, this does work towards swing trading. MJ, it does work. MJ, yes. Actually, if you send me an email, there's a couple of people that I only know that trade futures. And, there's something called level 4, which will really blow your stocks off. I didn't even teach you that. So anyway, these things are called iceberg orders. That's what we call them. If you notice, the reason why I call them iceberg orders, if you look at this iceberg right here, you'll notice that right here looks pretty big down here, but looks really small up there. Icebergs are huge. I got this word by watching the Titanic. Very sad story. Big ship, unsinkable, but unfortunately they cared about the beauty of the ship, not caring about the safety. And you know what? What happened to all those people? They died, and that's what I don't want to happen to you guys. I don't want you to get into a stock and not be able to see these icebergs, because we all know what happened to the Titanic, and you don't want to be one of them. A lot of people blow up their accounts. How many accounts have you here blown up an account? Any of you ever been through that? It stinks. It's the worst feeling in the world. And how about you? Some of you here, you hear these horror stories. People that work their whole lives and now they're trading. They have the chance to live off their IRA. They saved all that money, and boom, in a year it's all gone. Why? Because they just didn't know how to play the game. Jim, you've been one of them. I'm glad you're honest, Jim, because a lot of people are embarrassed to even say it. I'm not. I'm actually proud to say, because that's what made me better. Now, to answer one of the other questions, a lot of people says, are these fake orders, which one of you just said about the spoofing and stuff like that. Listen, I'm a tape reader. Okay, let me talk about tape reading, and then we're going to go through that. I don't know if any of you guys ever use something called time and sales. These are the transactions that take place. So by seeing, and some of you might look at this and say, you know what, moves, I know what it is. It moves too fast. I don't really pay attention to it. The reason why it moves too fast is because you have your defaults wrong. That's the reason why. Or you're looking at a stock that is moving way too fast. So anyway, we have them segregated in two colors. Transactions are, anything that is green means that the sellers are getting executed, which means the stock's going to go up. Red means the buyers on the bid are getting executed. That means it's going to go down. So by seeing the colors, it's pretty much easy to kind of get a sense of direction where the stock is going. So anyway, where is resistance levels on PCG? Let's see. Can anybody answer that? Where is the resistance? Where do you think in theory? 13, right? Absolutely. Right there. Sellers everywhere. You know where resistance are. They're on the sell side. You work your way down. And with all those numbers, really the big thing you're looking at is the big order. That's the 25 orders out there, 35,000. Now, when you look at PCG, you look at the chart, they're like, wait a minute. How did the stock get up to about $14? There was a big seller at 13. That ran $1. That's a lot. It's almost the total opposite what you just learned. Well, guess what? Somebody could buy those shares. Do you know that could happen? And how do we know? Look at the time and sales. Look at this. 13, 13, 13. Look, 18,000 shares. Somebody was actually buying it. It tested it. It came back down, and eventually the thing got executed. And that's the only reason what was holding it back. But until somebody went out there, that is what drove the stock up. That is where it comes out. Here, I'll bring up another one. I'm going to bring up something called level 4. This was a screenshot that I took on last week. Okay, we are looking at right here. We're looking at a stock symbol AMC. Okay, AMC at $20. Let me tell you something. AMC, if you look right here, had a 700,000 share seller. Now, what you're going to learn in level 4, which I'm going to show you in the trading room, this guy's been out there for not even just for the day. He was out there for several days. Okay? You can't see the screen? Hold on one second then. You know what? I think I know what the problem is. Hold on one second. There you go. Hold on. How about that? Could you see it now? Should be able to see it now. All right, perfect. So right here, you could see right there, this is AMC. You could see the ping. It says 700,000 shares right there. Well, where did AMC go? AMC took off. Thing just ran. Okay? I'll even show you another one. Here's another stock. This is level 4. This is called a ladder. Okay? We're looking at VERU. Look at the sellers keep coming out here. Big seller, stock went down. Seller came out, went back down. Seller kept popping up, came back down. Here's a stock that's trading at 11.14. We just saw it in pre-market. Why does this thing keep going down? People keep selling it and selling it. Let me keep bringing it up. Here's another one. Now we're talking, that time is what, 8:45? Okay, look at it now. Now the stock dropped all the way down to 1080. Okay? Look at the ladder. Now the stock dropped down to, you could see how the sellers keep coming out, keep pushing it down. Do I have another one here? I sure do. What time is that? Stock runs all the way down to 1056. Look at the sellers out there. They keep pushing it down, pushing it down, pushing it down. Everybody see that? Look how that ladder effect. The guy kept coming out there. This is called level 4. If you thought what I showed you just on the numbers, you might get a little confused with the numbers. Imagine now you could see it on an actual platform. These are the things that separate from amateurs and professionals. Let me explain something to you, ladies, fellow traders. You want to make money in trading? You have to spend money. You have to spend money. This data that I'm showing you, when I started at 22 years old, 25 years ago, more than 27 years ago, I had to pay $1,000 a month. Could you imagine you coming in here right now and I'm here selling you a platform that costs $1,000 a month? How many of you are going to sit there and like, wow, looks great. I'm signed up, and like, oh my God, $1,000 a month? I got to think twice about that one. I don't know if I could afford it. But I'm teaching you how to make, a 6-figure job. That's what separated, the people that I started with. Does it cost $1,000? No. You know what it costs? $15. Now, if you're going to tell me like, oh, but my brokerage firm gives it to me for free, that is BS. The exchanges don't work for free, okay? They brought the number down from a professional, non-professional. $15. If you can't afford $15, you should not afford to trade. $15 a month, what is that? 10 cents a day? 20 cents a day? Okay? To see where the orders are? You tell me you don't want to pay for that? You should not be trading. Well, guess what? I'm going to make you guys a deal. It's going to be $9 because I'm going to show you on my end before you ever go out there and buy something. So please don't buy anything. Let me show you first how it works because you'll do more harm than good. All right. But when you really think about the potential amount of money you can make in trading, it's part of doing business. That's what it is. There's no such thing of free employees for people. They don't exist. Okay. And even if they do and they volunteer, do you really want someone that works for free? Well, what's his incentive? You know what I mean? You get what you pay for. Always remember that. But if you follow the rules, you can make a lot of money in trading. This job pays a very nice salary. That's why you hear all the time, even politicians on TV, we got to go after those Wall Street guys. We got to get corporate America to pay for it because they're not stupid. You know what I mean? They know how to make money. Well, guess what? You can't beat them. Join them. That's what you're here for. So this is what I'm doing. I want to invite every single one of you here to come in my trading room, okay? And with that said, we start live commentary at 9 a.m. We go all the way to 4 o'clock. We actually start trading at 8 o'clock in the morning, Eastern time. Think about it. How many of you guys have access to pre-market? Do you know that we make most of our money in pre-market? You're probably saying, oh, my brokerage firm doesn't give me access. Of course she doesn't. You think they don't want to give you access. They don't want you to see what they're doing. Do you know that brokerage firms are trading against you? Think about this a second. Why are they giving you free tickets? What do you think? Did you ever call them up and ask them, why do you let me trade for free? How do you guys make money? They make money because they're trading against you. Okay? This is what you want to write something down. Write this down. Okay? It's called payment. I'm going to write down. It's called payment for order flow. Okay? The abbreviation of it is ask them, hey, what does PFOF mean? PFOF, payment for order flow. And you'll be so shocked that you'd be like, you guys are stealing from me? So, you know what? They have the right to make money. They're giving you a platform. You can't blame them for it. But you want to be competitive in this industry? You want to make this as a career? You have to learn before you can earn. You got to know what they're doing, why they do it, so you don't beat them, you join them. So this is what I'm asking for. $9. This is what you're going to get. Okay? I'm going to invite every one of you to come into my professional trading room, the original one that I started 25 years ago. Okay? I want you to see my traders, and don't judge us on our winners. Judge us on our losers. I want you to see how we get out of trades and how we admit when we're wrong and how we trade together and how we make money together. I want to show you exactly how to use the level 3 and the level 4. Okay? I want to show you how to play the game of trading. This is what you're going to get. You're going to get the live trading room, 3 daily market meetings, a morning and an afternoon watch list, your own personal education advisor, okay, which you're going to be shocked. Imagine calling somebody and you got someone to pick up on the phone, okay? A weekly live Q&A session, a crash course on day trading, 100 hours, all for $9, okay? Now, why would we do that? Let me just give you the link because I'm getting people out there asking me about the how do I register. Let me just get you the link right here and post that link for you. Oh, never mind. Staff just posted up for you. Okay, right there. And as a bonus, the first 20 people that register, because I only can really take X amount of phone calls, because I'm pretty busy with my schedule too, I will give you a personal coaching class. Okay, listen, I have to interview you. Listen, a lot of you really don't qualify to trade. I have to be honest with you. You don't. I would rather you consult me first before you go out there and make an investment doing this. You might not like what you hear, but I'll be honest with you. Listen, nobody wants to go get surgery from a doctor that never told them the truth. They're like, I don't care if telling this guy the truth if he doesn't need the surgery. I want to make the money. That's other schools. And you know what? We tell everyone else, why don't you go try everybody other schools and then come back to us and you'll see why we've been in business for so long and why we've been endorsed by more brokerage firms than anybody in the industry and have one of the best records on Wall Street and in the industry. And don't take my word for it. Do your research. Listen, trading is a great job, but you got to know how to play the game. And you got to make sure that you're a good fit when you get into, when you're getting someone's trading with someone. But if it doesn't work out, I'll give you $9 back. Listen, I don't need the $9. The $9, let me just tell you what that is. All that is telling me is that lets us know if you're a real person or not. I don't know who you are, where you came from. I don't know if you're, I don't know anything about you. Some of you just basically found me on YouTube or maybe from a partner or whatever. So, we got to make sure you're qualified. We got to make sure you're serious, okay? We're not trying to scam anybody. Listen, if you don't want to move forward with our trading room and pay for it, you don't have to. I don't need the scrutiny, okay? You'll do more harm to me than I could do to you, believe it or not. So I don't need the money, okay? What I need is I'm searching for people I could train, me and my staff, that could be part of my team that we could trade together. That's really what I'm looking for. If you feel that you have it in you, if you feel like you've been doing this for a while and you still can't figure it out, you're still breaking even or losing money, or you're taking other schools and you still haven't really found the right mentor, time for a change. Time for a change. What do you have to lose? The worst thing that could happen is that you learn something. The best thing that happened is that you finally found somebody that you could trust, that you could be part of something, and you could make a career out of this and not deal with all the other nonsense of maybe going back to work or, spend more time with your family. That's what trading is all about. Now, if anyone has any questions, as you guys are filling out filling it out, I'll be happy to answer any questions you might have. Just a couple of people here. By the way, I'm gonna do a couple of shout outs. We got a lot of people that are just filling out the registration right now. Anton, I got your question about total view. I'll answer you back regarding that. Todd, I got your registration. Welcome aboard from California. Who else we got here? We got Daniel from, Las Vegas, got your registration. Welcome aboard. By the way, when you register, very important you fill out that questionnaire. That is part of your application to be part of our team. We need to know, you know, if you've ever been trained, who you've been trained by, how much you have in your brokerage account. Listen, we don't sell you. We won't sell your information to anyone. We don't solicit anyone. We just want to make sure we know a little bit more about you. No different than you going to see the doctor and they're going to do your blood test. You know, we can't advise and work with you unless we don't know anything about you. After the trial period, Angelo, if you want to continue, it's $149 a month. If you don't want to continue, don't worry about it. We're not going to give it back, and if we charge you, we'll refund you. Trust me. You want to be, listen, you want to be part of the team, you be part of it. You don't want to be part of it, we don't need to trap anyone in there because you're going to waste our time. I don't need hecklers in the room. Okay, I'll be honest with you. Listen, traders, you know, like right now, look, they're in the trading room. They're trading a stock right now, AOTS. Look at that. Josh, one of our instructors, is calling AMC just popped. You know, how do they know that? Talking about right here, look at an Iceberg order and God for 167,000 shares just got filled at 276. What does that mean? You're going to see what it means when you come in the trading room. You know what? That's a great question, Angelo. Angelo's question says, I actually don't feel I have enough much time to day trade. Let me explain something to you. We have hundreds, if not thousands of traders in our room. Only 20% of them show up because life gets in the way. This is not a full-time job, okay? It's not. But if things work out for you, why would you not want to do it, right? There are two good times to trade, the first hour and the last hour. So if you're West Coast and like, you know, I'm not really an early bird, you know, no problem. You want to work the night shift? Come in the afternoon, trade the last hour. Yesterday was phenomenal. I mean, some of the stocks in the afternoon did great. Just on yesterday. So there's certain times, and the good thing is you're not supposed to do this full time. Don't believe what people tell you. Like I said, only about maybe 10 to 20% of our traders are there. The rest of them, you know, are probably on vacation, maybe have a second job, you know, whatever it is. Maybe they're playing golf. I don't know. But what's nice is that you could just step in, you could pick up where somebody left off. It's almost like a shift. And that's a great question. We are brokerage firm neutral, okay? We do use a couple of brokerage firm platforms. When you talk to your education advisor, I'll tell you a little bit about some of the brokerage firms that we probably recommend, but we don't want you to hold us against it. You know, we don't work for them. I can't answer for them. And we do that on purpose. I mean, there's some brokerage firms, I hear horror stories. They're like, they don't call me back. I'm on hold. That's why I don't want nothing to do with them. Okay? Nothing to do with them. You know what I mean? I know what I can control. I can't control them. But we could tell you who we could kind of recommend, you know, who we think is okay. But I could tell you this, 90% of you are trading with the wrong one. Depending on what market you're trading, be in more trouble than anything. Any other questions, by the way? Oh, let me just go through. There's a bunch of people just registered that I got your registration. Who do we got here? Charles Alexander, I got your registration from Arizona. All right. Welcome aboard. Mary Dole from North Carolina, got your registration. Okay. Now, guys, listen. When you register, you are going to get access to talk to getting an education advisor. He's going to do a walkthrough with you. It's very important you make your appointment with him because we don't want you to go into the room and be like, okay, what I'm looking at. Well, what does this lingo mean? What is this? Why are they trading this? What? Listen, you do it right. Watch how we take care of our customer service. Watch how we train you how to actually, you know, have fun in the trading room and understand what's going on. That's the goal. You want to know why, you know, you're seeing what you're seeing. And a picture is worth 1,000 words, but let me tell you, talk to somebody, it's worth a gazillion words. All right, very important. Any other questions? Let me just see, a couple of people just coming in here. Caroline Anderson from South Carolina. Wow, I never heard that. Islands, Palms. That's nice. Nice area. What else we got here? Mary Dole just got your registration. By the way, like you said, when you see, I'm just reading on here. it's very important you let us know if you took education from somebody, because when you talk to us, we want to know what kind of strategy you were taught, so you understand why it works and why it doesn't work. Some of them, like I said, some of the schools out there that you may have taken a course with are one of our students or our instructors. Remember, we've been in here a long time. When we teach our traders, we teach them how to teach other people. You know, a lot of people like, oh, when you leave us, you know, they like to hold people hostage because they're in the residual business. We don't play that game. Okay, we don't do that. First, I think that's sleazy business. You know what I mean? I don't think that's really, you know, you don't want to be involved with that. So if we know, we could say, oh, that's great. Now we have an understand what you're doing. And, you know, whatever it is, maybe you didn't like the way their style or whatever it is, or their personality. Listen, some people don't like me because I'm a little brash. And I don't know, I just was raised that way, you know, an Italian family, very strict. But I just don't like that people lose money. I don't care about winning. I'm not the type of person that's going to pat you on the back and say, hey, good job. I'm worried about that if you're on the battlefield, I don't want you to get killed because you're going to probably get me killed. You know what I mean? You know, you get paid a job. You don't need to always be complimented on every day how good of a job you did. Okay, that's your job, right? Some of you own a business. You know what I'm talking about. You're more concerned that don't do that. You're gonna break it. You know, unless someone tells you that. That's the way I am. You know, some people like it, some people don't. But you'll see when you come to the trading room. But I'm more proactive than anything. Like I said, I hate to see people lose money. A couple other people out here. Who else we got here that filled out? We got Avalon from Maryland. Just got your registration. We're almost at the 20. Listen, if you don't get me if you go past the 20, you're still going to talk to an instructor. It's just that there's only some people I can talk to. Angela, there you go. You're from Rome? Italy? Is that where you're from? You're Paisano, Italiano? All right. Welcome. I actually got a few Italians in there. Actually, somebody actually came in my trading room. His name was Fausto also. How many Faustos could there possibly be in this world, right? So pretty funny. Any other questions? Thank you for the value presentation. Long, no problem. You're more than welcome. You know, hopefully you enjoyed it, learned a lot. There's a lot more that we need to cover. All right. But by the way, guys, don't go anywhere because we'll still play that video while you guys are watching. So listen, I got to get ready to trade the afternoon with my traders. Looks like they're all looking at a stock called, right now, they just called out this one stock. I want to do some trading here. POP, they called out. Oh, KOSS. This is what I teach my traders. Got a little bit of a pop here. Usually it's not really the best time to trade in the middle of the day, but the Zoom stock is moving pretty well. There we go. That's a nice little move right there. Cheap little stock. All right. Thank you very much, guys. Enjoy the rest of the presentation, watching the video. Thanks for coming. If you don't continue with our trial, listen, maybe you're not ready. I get it. Maybe you want to still do your homework. Maybe you're a little shell-shocked to what you've just heard. Maybe you're in another presentation. Great. Go listen to them. Go watch everybody else. Go take all the webinars, and you come back and you'll see what separates us from them. And you'll see that some people make things more complicated than what it is. And then just remember, though, just make sure you do your homework. Make sure you deal with people that are endorsed by brokerage firms and they have a great credibility and been around in the industry, and they've been around for a long time and have been endorsed by other people in the industry. That's how you know when you deal with someone. If you did join, listen, what you've seen right now, you haven't seen nothing yet. When I start showing you on the first day, when we do some pre-market trading, we go out there and do all this, you're going to fall off your chair, okay? The only thing is we need to know if you can continue to do that, and that's what we're going to learn moving forward. All right, guys? So thank you so much for listening. See you all in the trading room, and be safe.
Welcome to Nasdaq Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq. Joining me at the market site in Times Square, New York City, we have Fausto Pugliese. He's the founder and president of Cyber Trading University. We're going to take a look at how traders are using Total View. And Fausto, it could not be a better time to have you in with us at Marketplace, because with everything going on, the volatility we've seen in the market since you were with us in the middle of February last time.
That was pretty crazy.
Traders are asking themselves, what's the bottom, what's the top? But as a day trader, you can kind of get an inside look when you're looking at a single stock.
Yeah, what it is, Jill, is that, thanks for having me again. And yes, when it comes to day trading, people realize that what happens over the course of the day, which trickles down to a swing trade and to a long-term investment. And my phone's been blowing up. People could ask me, Fausto, is this the bottom? Is this the bottom? Because we're looking at the market all day. And honestly, this is how you really know when it's the bottom. When you have the worst of the worst of the worst news and just constantly all negative stuff, and the market's not going any lower, that's when you know it's time to buy. So as you see, like, a lot of bad news keeps coming up, and then obviously you saw what happened yesterday when they lowered the Fed rate by a half. It took for a big decline, and all of a sudden the market's up with about almost like 900 points so far. So and there's still a lot of bad news that's coming out with the coronavirus and everything else, but that's really when you know when you hit the bottom. So for some of the listeners out there that really missed the boat when the market had a big rally, we almost hit 30,000. You know, these are the opportunities. You know, honestly, it is like the same thing I saw back in 2008 when we had the financial crisis. So once you start seeing all the bad news, things start backing up, start going up.
All right, let's take a look at our example here today. We're going to look at ticker symbol MRNA, Nasdaq listed, of course. What are we looking at? Where's the levels that you're looking to sell?
Okay, so listen, what is mRNA? You know, I keep bringing up stocks, and people are like, what is this company do? It doesn't matter. We're just here to make money. The main goal about Total View is you have to understand how it works, how to know where the buyers and sellers are. It's all about supply and demand. That's why it's such a great tool. So we're looking at a chart right here, and we're looking at the stock right here. And the first thing people notice is, like, the stock's going up beautifully. Nice. Look at this stock. Started this morning. It's at 25.80. It's at 28. Is it going higher? Now the goal is, why does the stock keep breaking out? It hits a resistance, it comes back down. It breaks the previous resistance, keeps going up. How do you know it's going to keep breaking higher highs? And that, what we're going to do this time is we're going to bring a video so you all could see exactly what it's like to see in the real market conditions.
All right, so let's move along to our next slide here. That's exactly what we're doing. Let's take a look at Total View. I'm going to let you take the reins. Tell us what's happening here.
Okay, so we got like a little minute video here. So we're looking at some real time. And the key here is time and sales. These are the transactions that are taking place. We're looking at level 2. Level 2 is basically people get for free, but it doesn't give you the depth of data as Total View does. Now, the key here is that you don't see that many sellers out there. You're just seeing the best bid and best offer of that exchange. But you'll notice how the stock keeps going higher. What we need to focus on is where you see the big sellers. And you're looking for big orders. You got a 51 different orders out there, right around 28. Things are going so quickly, I try to slow it down. So right around $28.50. So that is really your resistance level. So when you're looking at a stock going out, going higher, you're going to say, is the stock going to break out? So you see it's coming up to this guy right here really quickly. You see it's coming up. It's coming up to this person right here. So 70,000 shares, 5,000 shares. So it's going to come up to that seller. Now the goal is this: is that guy going to get executed? Remember, you have 100 share sellers, 300 shares, 1,000. But you have a big order out there. You want to see if that guy gets executed, and you want to see if that's how it breaks out. Remember, what makes support and resistance levels is buyers and sellers. So you got a seller out there. So we're coming up to that seller right here. Now the goal is to look right here and see if that seller gets executed. And you see it's coming up to the seller, and boom, the guy gets taken out. It's actually executing it. Boom, 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 boom. Look at that. See all those transactions? It took the guy out. Now look how fast the stock goes up. From 250, we're at 260, 270, 280, boom, like that, as quickly as that. That's why it's so important to know where the orders are, know where the resistance, and see if the guy gets taken out. Now, when we get to the next slide, look at it. We're already at 2880.
Yep, and you can see these 35,000.
Which
orders,
is
yep.
Exactly. Now this is the next order. Now the next question is: here's the next biggest resistance. There's a 33,000 shares for there's 100 different orders out there. Now then that's where the next resistance level is. So the goal is you hit a resistance. Where's the next resistance? The next resistance is the next biggest seller. So now we're coming up to him, and we're going to see what's going to happen when he gets to 29.
Yeah, it happens so fast.
Well, also this is about a 5-minute video that I was able to capture when we traded this stock, and I kind of speeded it up over about a minute, so it doesn't move as quickly. Boom, we hit 29, the guy got taken out again, and look at the stock just took off again. And the thing I want to explain to you, Jill, is that, and your listeners have to understand, is that when you have a big seller out there and that guy gets taken out, that is a very big demand. Someone says, oh, wow, I'll take that 30,000 shares. And that's why you get the stock that really, really starts to take off. Now, the next thing is that you're going to get some resistance levels. It's going to start backing off. There's always profit taking going on, right?
Of course.
So when you have profit taking going on, you could see profit taking going on. But the question is it really a profit taking, or is it just people just, or is it really going to go lower? In this case, it's not. Seller got done. Remember, we just watched the stock go from 28 to 29. Now look at it. We're at 29.50 already. Stock just keeps going higher and higher because those sellers are getting executed. As those sellers get executed, that means there's a demand for it. When you see big block orders out there, it makes a bigger demand, and that makes it higher. Now, the next resistance level, obviously, is going to be where we have to focus on, where the next biggest orders are. So we got some, no, I think we freeze, right? We're done?
Nope,
Almost.
we have a little bit more to go here.
We slow down over here. Yep, we're done. So the next video we're going to show.
Yeah, we actually go to our slide here. So this is where you're looking at those levels.
Right. So we're looking at the seller. So we have a 67,000 share seller at 28. So now we have to look what we call iceberg orders.
What does that mean?
Okay. So it's a funny story. So I came up with this word about 20 years ago after watching the movie The Titanic. Okay. Actually, you ever watch that movie? Very sad movie. I definitely recommend it. So anyway, what happened to Titanic? It hit an iceberg. And the thing is, everybody was focused on the pretty of the ship and above the water. They didn't realize it's not what's above the water, it's at the bottom of the water. Icebergs are really big. So what happened, it crashed and it sunk. So what we're looking for is big iceberg orders, which we call, some people call them big block orders, but when you see a big order, it's called an iceberg order. So now we're looking at a 28.90 and we're looking for a resistance. Once again, stock's going higher, we need to focus on the next resistance level.
All right, and which is on the next chart here. If we take a look, yep.
So here's just a quick little screenshot. So as we're looking at it, you see, it's a lot easier when you're focusing on, when you're just looking at the level, the total view, and it's easy to point it out. Now, please keep in mind, your listeners have to understand, we're fast forwarding this pretty quickly to get to the point. It doesn't move this quickly. But I'm showing right here is just a quick screenshot. What we're focusing on is this big order right here for 73,000 shares, and there's 315 different orders out there making up that 73,000. Now, the thing I just want to point out is, I just want to teach everyone a quick little lesson.
Yeah.
Don't ever sell anything at $30. Go out at $29.99. You just cut the line by.
So that's for anything that's like an even number.
Biggest trick I was taught by my mentors when I was younger. Listen, everybody's going to think 30. Everybody's going to think 20. Go out $21.99. You just cut the line by 73,000 shares. That's a very good.
It's like selling a house or buying a house. It's like that, those incremental psychological levels.
Well, if you remember, if you look at it, the stock has a penny intervals. And so that's a little tip. But the thing is, let's focus on what happens to the 30. You know, just right off the bat, you know that's a major resistance levels, and that's what we have to focus on. That's for the stock to go any higher, it's got to get through that 73,000 share seller on total view.
All right, well, let's take a look at that next slide. See what happens next. Now we're going to get the other piece of the trade.
Okay, so here we're looking at the stock moving. Here's 29.45, 29.48, 62. 67. So the sellers are getting executed. You can see the transactions taking place, but we know that there's that guy sitting right here. And now his order's coming up. Look, he's starting making up the ranking. It's getting up to 30. It's getting close to him. So let's watch what happens. 74, 70. Look at the transactions taking place. It's trying to get there. And by the way, those orders, they're all real. People think like they're fake. Those are real orders. Can a guy cancel it? Of course they can cancel it. But that you have to take very seriously, and that's a real order out there. So now as we're looking at it, and as it's trading, it's trying to get there. Actually, it kind of almost tested it. You see that right there?
Yeah.
See that candle right there? It's hit it, and now it's starting to back off a little. Now you're starting to see the red candlesticks. So now it means that the last sale is lower than the previous.
And this works for all kinds of stocks. ETFs, would it work for ETFs also?
ETFs, futures, options, it works the same way. Remember, it's the movement of the stock that makes all those other things. Yes,
right.
ETFs and everything else. You could look up any ETF and it'll come up on total view. Look, now we're down to 29.
Yep.
So my point that I'm getting to is this. If you didn't have a game plan, Jill, and didn't know that seller was out there, and you try to
And actually, if we go to the next slide, this is exactly what you were talking about. There's your level right there.
If you didn't have a game plan and knew that seller was out there, and look at that candle, that stock literally moved. Look how fast it moved in that one bar chart. If you didn't have a game plan to get out there before that guy was out there, and if you didn't what we call shaving, if you didn't shave just before that 30 and cut that line, guess what? You would just look how much money you would have lost. That stock didn't even drop from 30. Look where it went to. 27.30. You would have got crushed on that trade. Because what happens, if that seller's out there and he's not getting executed, he really had to sell that order, Jill, how is he going to get out? He's got to sell to the buyers. If he hits the bid, he's running that stock down, not you and I. Remember, we're not trading 74,000, someone else is, and it's not one person. We saw it, it was like there was several people out there doing it. And that's how you got to focus on using the total view when you trade in today's volatile markets.
All right, so cool to actually watch it happen in real time. Thanks so much for doing that for us, Fausto. And thank you for joining me on Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq.